What up, Matty? Matty Ice. There's Natty Ice, and then there's Matty Ice. How you doing, Matt?
How are you?
I'm pretty damn good. I'm enjoying my stay in the greater Detroit area, Matt, and I'm excited. They're very excited about the Lions. So I'm going to sport the Lions ball cap, even though it's blasphemy as a Bear fan to have this on my head.
Yeah, but it's not like the Lions have ever ruined anything for the Bears. So
they sure haven't.
It's hard to hate them.
I think you got to put a 1950s in there since the last.
Well, I'm just saying, but it was definitely preceded even old Bob Heffernan.
This is for sure.
Even you
100% for sure true.
Yeah.
Man, Market Vital is streaming from HFR probably permanently now, as the Twitter lords do not want any information. It's unbelievable. My condolences to another one that bites the dust. My question to you is, when do they just single you out? Like I get canceled because I hosted you. Like would we get canceled if we hosted Trump on a live stream?
Yeah,
is that allowed?
Yeah, we should get Donald on.
I mean, he's banned from Trump, right? So I mean, from Twitter. So if you have Trump on,
yeah,
that's no bueno. That's no bueno.
No bueno.
Everybody's like, that can't happen. You can't do that. Matt, this just in. Now, is it 390 or 998 days now since the last time?
Yeah, 998. We're coming up to 1,000 mark.
Listen, I got only one thing to say to you. How the fuck does Michigan get Colorado State and Ohio State get Notre Dame first game of the season?
What do you mean? Well, because the schedules are set 7 years ahead. I mean, what do you want me to say?
They're not set 7 years ahead. Slow down.
They are indeed. So whatever.
I'm going to call bullshit on that. Okay. And then you got several other Big Ten teams that have to start the conference with a Big Ten opponent. Like Michigan, for sure paid somebody off. Let's just call a spade.
You know what? When we used to play Notre Dame, Florida State, and Miami in the Open, nobody cared when we were 3-0. So whatever. Now we're taking it like everybody else does. We're playing the Patsies and building up our record. Sorry about that, buddy.
What's the line on Colorado State?
A lot, I'm sure. But if you don't believe, I'm going to show you something. Since you're so doubtful about scheduling. Scheduling happens multiple years, and I'm going to show you right here. We already have next year, we have 24, we have 25, and we have most of 26 and 7, etc. So F off, Bobby.
You're canceled. We can believe nothing from you.
Next year, we got a tough East Carolina, UNLV, Bowling Green, then Fresno. I mean, we got Texas, so they're in 24, New Mexico, Oklahoma, Central, Oklahoma and Texas. Notre Dame's back on the schedule in a decade.
Dude, that's unreal.
Yeah.
33-34. The next time you'll see Michigan play
the Domers. You'll see the Domers losing.
I mean, there was probably 50 years that they ran them together, right?
Yeah.
All right, Matt, there are other things going on in the world other than Michigan football.
Yeah, Tom Brady's back. All the jokes are on. He is not the Masked Singer, so let's put that one to rest that you were talking about yesterday.
Oh, yeah, but I had information. It was just wrong information.
Well, everybody knew. When you know that, it's not going to happen. So I knew
Again, the disrespect. I'm gonna let it pass here a couple of times. From Wall Street Silver here, Shanghai suspends power for 2 days due to electricity shortages. Tesla and other manufacturers are being affected by this. I can't imagine this is great when you're running a business. Like, wait a second. You can't shut down the line. The line's not made to be shut down.
But the demand's down, so maybe it's helpful for Tesla just to have a little break in the production line.
Maybe. But hey, sorry for your air filtration systems at the hospital. You're gonna have to go on backup, and it seems to me like the old WEF didn't really have a good handle on the powers that be and the power systems that we have. Short-sighted.
It's been good for the stock today. It's up $25. So if you are in my camp that Tesla will trade 500 here in the next 6 months. Another opportunity to sell.
That's pretty defined there.
Yeah.
Pretty defined little sales region.
Yep. So, I think, kind of up to this 900 level again, looks like sell again.
All right, I like that even better. That fat profile, that fatty. Again, if you visit marketvitals.io, and just ask for the scripts. We got these scripts from TradingView that are phenomenal. Matt, Norway, all of Europe suffering with multiples of energy that they produced or paid for last year.
Yeah, bring up the graphic that I sent you this morning.
I can't. It's startling though. It's startling. We thought yesterday it was around 500, equivalent of $500 a barrel. The graphic that we saw was it's more like $1,000 a barrel now.
Today it is 1,000. That's shocking.
Maybe that's why, for sure that's a great reason why the euro goes and trades 80 cents. Again, it's round number bingo fight right now around par, but 80-cent euro seems to be a fairly good slam dunk for me.
What do you think?
What else?
Well, let me ask you, just kind of sticking on sports here for a little bit. Let me ask you a little bit about, Davey Portnoy battling with your boy Alex Stein last night. Did you catch any of that Twitter battle?
I did not. Well, was he crying about the safe moon pump?
Yeah.
And he's getting sued for it too.
Davey wasn't, but Alex Stein was calling him out on it. And then Davey started boasting how he's worth $500 million and you're a munchkin, so F off. I was like, wow, what a dick.
And which is crazy because if he's worth $500,000, we haven't looked at Barstool stock in a while. We're coming into football season.
We are.
PENN Gaming. So let's take a look at PENN Gaming. They have survived the lull in sports betting, and sports betting for sure gets a giant bump in the fall as football comes on board, college and pro.
And don't forget, football came on board really 2 weeks ago, and we peaked there at 38. So that might have been it, Bob. I mean, 38 back down to 32. So we did have the
fractal out.
I'll fractal out a little bit, but that was the bump. We had 26 to 38, and coming back into value here. And again, there's so much marijuana plants, just as there are so many ways to place your bet. So I don't see any greater worth Barstool versus DraftKings. And while we're at it, we could just look at DraftKings too. And that had its requisite bump already from, the high single digits. It doubled all the way up here to 21 or so, and it's rolling back over. So again, I don't expect too much to change here just because the season is here and football betting season is here.
let's just keep the thread going. We've talked about how credit is tapped. Expenses are more of everything that you do. How many people are going to opt for the fucking $5 league versus the $100 league? Right. I mean, they still might want to play, but
this is always my argument. It's like, it's like betting. Yeah, I hear from the people who are in that business that, that gamblers keep gambling regardless. They put it on their credit card. I'm like, well, maybe to a point, but if your credit card's already tapped because you did all these, home improvement projects, and now there's no more money coming from the government. Now the payments are coming in and the minimum is all you can make, it's not really encouraging you to gamble, I would think.
I just got to think it's a cutthroat, crowded space in a depressing environment as far as free cash flow is concerned for a lot of people. Yeah. I don't know how the hell that they have any success in the wagering world this fall.
And then Bob, we'll talk about this a little bit. I'm going to bring up the oil chart because oil we talked about again down there at $86, $87, shot up all the way to 94 again. So we're in this 10-point bracket, 85, 95. That's the bracket. You can see we've been in it almost a month. So we haven't broken out of it, but this is kind of the interim mode of where we are. We're back to the top here. So, you know, I don't know if you saw Biden yesterday saying that gas has been lower every day. He literally said it's been lower every day this summer. I'm like, really? No, it hasn't. Like, it's barely moved. But okay, dude, another lie. Just another one to add onto your pile of garbage. Unbelievable.
Uncle Joe. Somebody put him out the pasture already.
So anyways, oil back up here to the top of the range.
All right, fractal out a little bit more here because that's pretty clean. The bracket's clean. But when you fractal out, so if you start building time and volume back above this $95 area, look at that.
Yeah, well, again, I think if you get above 95, you'll go to 105, possibly 110. That's balance, you know, when you go back to, this is back to May. So again, Joe's talking about lower prices, but again, we fractal out a little bit more beyond May. And dude, we were here in January. So Joe, nothing has changed since January. It's up 10% from 87 to 95 today. So stop your yapping. The truth,
and again, on that,
the price. No.
Yeah, that fractal, it looks fantastic support there.
Fantastic.
All right, 120 by Christmas. Let's call it.
You know, again, I see 162.40 by next year.
All right, Matt. The other one that you shared in the network was housing, and we've talked about housing a lot. Rates go higher, how can prices hold up? And finally, we've been talking about the price reductions, but finally, year over year, prices are down, according to Zillow or somebody recently just posted. Amazing, right? A 10-year run of no lower pricing. It's insane.
Right. It is insane.
But bring up Home Depot because we've talked about it before, and it did get a good bump here too over the last little bit. But again, all things will be squeezed here going forward. All things.
Yeah, I don't know about you. I mean, you know, I like to, you know, a lot of times on weekends, I like to walk around and these times of, you know, transition, right? That's what I will call the time that we're in right now. And we're transitioning from a raging bull market to maybe a raging bear market. We're in some type of change, right? There is a transition happening. And again, I was talking about I was tweeting about this yesterday. Like, okay, we had some really nice rallies here. And again, Home Depot, this is a 610 chart, ran from, you know, 265 all the way up to 334. But look at what happened just in the last 2 days. I mean, that you had the earnings bump, right? That was August 15th, but that also marked the top in the cycles. So from that earnings, you know, the market reacted positively, but it has wiped it out in less than a week. So that just tells me that there was some shorts that got squeezed at that last minute. But since then, it's been orderly selling. So were the earnings really good, Bob, or are we just back to new normal? Because there we're below that now today, trading 307. And again, do your own homework, but you walk around at Home Depot or Lowe's the last few months, it is not like it was during the COVID times when everybody was in there buying all their home improvement projects. I mean, you had a major home improvement project over the last couple of years, and it's over now. You're done with it.
It's over. I marked the top.
You marked the top. And you were talking about it. You talked about the cost of that, you know, the things you were buying, like everything, you know, I remember you were talking about drywall and how much pieces of drywall.
Thank God we were done with the major part of the renovations, and we only needed, you know, handfuls of pieces of things.
Yeah,
because it was ridiculous. The pricing was absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, they were ridiculous.
How about this? It was so ridiculous. We had soundproofing drywall, right? And we ended up with one piece extra. And we're like, well, can you return it? And my first thought is it's a piece of drywall. Like, what do you mean, can we return it? And then I'm like, oh, wait a second. We paid $80 for that one sheet of drywall. Yeah, we're going to return it.
But again, coming back to the gross theme that we talk about, overall gross, 58 was the COVID low up to 263. I still think we're going to test the COVID lows. So that's $58. And Home Depot is still trading 207. Or rather Lowe's. Home Depot, the low was 142 and we're still printing 307. So both of these can more than get cut in half still to get back to that price. And then the other idea I just want to throw out, because it had a huge run here also, and I'm short this, so I'll just bring it up, is Costco. Costco, again, all the way from 407 when it was diving down, caught a bid on the calendar bid. This is when the Fed went into play, apparently. And the COVID low here is 307. Excuse me, it's much lower. It is here, 282. And it's printing. So this, again, can get cut in half from here, Bob. And again, the consumer, you know, and an average of $42 an item or whatever the average Costco thing is, like, you're probably not going to go there as much anymore. I'm just saying, even if you have a big family, you're probably not going to go spend as much at Costco maybe as you would. You're going to go more to the beans and rice, save your money, less meat. I don't know. But that, I mean, but look at this chart. This chart is like,
you're going on the prepper diet. You're
going on the prepper diet.
100 pounds of rice and 5 cases of beans. That's it.
Yeah.
So, until we see some good news.
But this chart looks awfully double toppy, whatever you want, you know, however you want to look at it. It's just basically been in a bracket from, you know, let's call it 460 to 560. The next 100 breaks from there. So you break 460, you go to 360. You break 560, you go to 660. I don't see us going higher. That's all I see right now. So it's not a pretty chart. So, and then, you know, Target also busted out this week too on their earnings, and that had been spiking, and you can see what happened there. 180
again too, because everybody reported okay, because the pain has not showed itself yet.
No. So they reported fine, right? Here were the earnings again just last week. But since then, all it's done is sell off, and it's made new lows. So that's not a good sign for where we're heading here. Smart money is selling. Smart money is selling into the rallies.
As it always does.
As it always does.
As it always does. All right, that's what we got. Please visit us at marketvitals.io. Hey, you know what? Please go to Amazon.
Hey, what do you think about the Gronk story? Gronk talking about how the Raiders wanted he and Brady, and then Mike Davis, who's Al Davis's son, said, I didn't know anything about that story. He's like, I wasn't talking to him. So I thought
so you can't trust anything you hear anywhere you hear it.
So I thought that was a little bit interesting. And then our boy Will Zalatoris of the PGA, not the Live Tour, the PGA, number 3 in the world, had to drop out of the the FedEx Cup thing because he's got 2 herniated discs. He finally got his first. How about that? He finally gets his first win, and now he's so injured he's got to take a time off. The big payday. That's got to be a little frustrating.
I got to tell you, man. You know, back injuries can plague you for years.
Well, and
I played this morning. I played this morning on a half a swing with my lower back is so messed up.
Did you play the Country Club of Detroit? Where'd you play?
I don't remember.
Chandler Park?
I don't remember. I think I did play Chandler Park.
Oh, I'll have a conversation with you off air on that one.
It was great. It was great because it was short enough for my injured body to actually play. You want to talk about a short swing?
There's a lot of big money games. There's a lot of big money games at Chandler Park in the 70s and 80s. A lot of hustlers.
I'll bet there was.
That's a hustler city. That's a hustler city track there, my friend.
All right. Again, Amazon.com, Shrimp Mojo. We just had another runner rub. So we got several pounds available. Become a dealer. Seriously, become a dealer. You buy it for $25 a pound. You sell it for $8 an ounce. It's an easy mathematical situation there, Matt. Really actually looking to everybody and anybody that's watching that has a brother that's got or a sister that's got a food truck, or if you got a sports bar and you need to kick up the flavor in your offerings, Shrimp Mojo, man. Shrimp Mojo, and we got pounds available. We want to be the pound dealer. I don't want to be the small dime bag guy. You do that. I'll sell you the pound, you sell the dime bags. That's how we roll.
SPOO's down 8 today. The NASDAQ got up 100 or so, but gave it all back. It's essentially, red days, I would say again here. Not this market, again, considering we did have the bump in the NASDAQ and the Russell 2K, but the fact that the SPOOs aren't running, the bonds have rolled back over again, they're red again. It's a dangerous market to be long in, Bob. Dangerous market to be long in. And with oil up another, 5-6%, it's big.
All right, Matt, thank you so much. Again, marketvitals.io. Please join us. Man, we got a solid trickling of people coming into the community here. I don't know what's changed. Maybe it's the podcasting is catching on. But anyway, please visit us, marketvitals.io. All right, Matt, thank you.
Thank you, Bobby. Enjoy it.